Kat stole most of my what I wanted to say, but Governor Cuomo, it's so obvious that children
together.
No, it's so obvious that children are affected. Governor Cuomo of New York, in his State of the State speech, was referring to SNAP benefits, which New York wants to fingerprint, and so people will be thrown out. And he said, "No child should go hungry in the great state of New York, and we will do all that we can to prevent it." Now, he said a lot more. I brought his quotes. I'm suddenly a great fan of Governor Cuomo because, because he saw right away that this is wrong. Now, Kokua Council met on Monday for our board meeting, and we reviewed the two bills. And since then, we learned about HB1885, drug testing public housing. And there's a bill that was heard this morning related, this is a privacy issue, keep track of every place that each of us goes on the internet. So we heard the word nexus. You need a nexus. There is a nexus on this, on all these bills. And you know what it is? You have introduced them. And so we also heard that drug problems affect all socioeconomic classes. So people who need public assistance and using state money. I'm sure Don Horner, the Board of Ed, he's a member of a class no different. State legislators, why are you different from somebody receiving state money? So, I brought with me a plastic cup. There's a place on there for you to put your name and your date.
Wonder what Larry wants me to do with this.
I would like to suggest that anyone who introduces bills in the legislature of the state of Hawaii, before they're allowed to introduce bills, be required to be drug tested. Okay. This makes sense to me. What I need to hear from you, is why you introduced all of these bills that compromise our privacy. We need, as citizens, to resist every time these bills are introduced.
Staying on the topic here, a constituent had asked that I introduce a drug testing bill for welfare recipients. And at the National Conference for State Legislatures, at the summit in August of 2011, I met with a lot of my colleagues in the Human Services and Welfare Executive Committee, and we talked about this. We discussed this. In fact, one of the talks was the Florida law. At that time, it wasn't struck down, but we believed in talks with my colleagues that was going to be struck down. But we knew the Missouri law passed, and we believed that would withstand a constitutional argument, and it has. It has. So interestingly enough, I introduced two TANF drug testing bills, one that mirrors Florida that would clearly violate the Constitution, and another that was more crafted towards the Missouri law. The point is, Larry, thank you for asking tough questions, and for everyone that's watching, everyone in the entire state, you are my employer, and I'm here to listen to a lot of different ideas, working with you to be culturally sensitive, but to understand it is our job to address these concerns here. I don't feel one scintilla of guilt that I brought the discussion out, and I'll tell you why. This issue will come up again and again. As the chair of Human Services, it's my duty to look at this and to see what's right and wrong. Based on what I've heard so far, it appears that the kind of drug testing bills that we've submitted for introduction goes too far. And I'm quite confident from what I've gotten from the Department of Human Services and the AG's office that we have sufficient administrative rules and federal statutes in place. That's important. That's important for me. And that's why I'm open to all discussions, and I'll take the hit anytime, anywhere, because I'm not afraid. Not afraid. I'll stand up anytime and talk about issues. This is a lawmaker that's open to hearing what the right thing to do is. There is no way that I am on laser lock and I'm just going to say, we're just going to ram this bill through. I am open to the discussion. And again, at this point, so far, it appears that there's going to be no reason for me to hold a hearing on any of the TANF drug testing bills before us. Again, after I had introduced, I think 3 or 4 other lawmakers had introduced similar measures.
Will you go on record to withdraw your sponsorship of these bills? The record is going to show you introduced these bills.
That's fine. The record's also going to show that I had an informational briefing, and that after hearing from all the opponents, this chair decided that it's not in the best interest to go forward with a hearing at all. I'll be happy to say that anytime, anywhere. And this is the information I need to know. I need to be equipped with this because, again, with the one in housing, I need to share that with my colleague and say, you know, I just want to share with you, these are your concerns. And we'll take it from there. I need to share this with the National Conference for State Legislatures, the Human Services and Welfare Committee. I wanted to give the heads up to my colleagues out there nationally. So I don't regret bringing these up because the discussion's good. And now I do see that these TANF drug testing bills would certainly do more harm than good. I'm wholeheartedly saying that, Larry, and that's why it's important to have this briefing, important to say that those bills were not good, and at this point the Chair of Human Services does not intend on hearing any of those TANF drug testing bills.
Thank you.
Yeah. And now, again, that's why I appreciate all of you from being here, and asking the tough questions. This is what I need to go through. I need to know for the edification of myself, and if my members have any questions.
You can share the plastic cup with your other committee members.
I think I need about 9 more, but I hope they're not too offended. I'm okay with this one. I'll maybe put it on the side, and maybe we can discuss this after the end of the session. But thank you, Larry. It's interesting. We've always worked on a number of issues, and I enjoy working with you. And even on this one, I appreciate the hard questions you ask, and I thank you for that. I really do.